My name is Tom Vocht. I was a part of the Church of Scientology for 30 years. I worked from the bottom up. I was working directly for David Miscavige when I left. I get there in October, and I don't know who David Miscavige is really, you know what I mean? I run into him and he goes, "How you doing?" He was really intensely interested in how I was doing. And he says, "I'm keeping an eye on you." And I went, "Okay." This is my first time I got attacked by Miscavige. I walked into that conference room. I think you and Marty were there to begin with. I told Marty and Mike, and I could tell they were like, "Oh, Miscavige walks in." And I tell him, he goes, "Did you get it?" I said, "No, sir." And before I could even think, he dove across the table, grabbed my eye, and shoved it up. Mm-hmm. And I couldn't breathe. I couldn't talk. I was like, and I'm thinking, holy you know, it hurt like a mother. And I was shocked. I'm upset about not being able to do it, but now I'm being physically abused for, you know, not being able to pull permits on an absolutely impossible deal. And he says I am basically an enemy.
Yeah.
That was the first time, and it was an overwhelmingly tough, crazy emotional thing, because I believed, and I was inside. Now I look at it and go, you know, but inside there, you really, it's devastating.
You believed that you had failed him. You
failed him, yeah. Failed the church, right. Failed Hubbard,
failed mankind.
Yeah. You're because he was a hero, and right. That's how intense he is about clearing the planet. So getting beat up by Miscavige was not I just got beat up by Miscavige, I'm gonna beat the out of the punk. It was, man, I f***ed up.
Yeah.
And that was the level of control and power that the guy had. This built over time, the mental atmosphere, the organizational pattern, everything into I'm the guy.
Right. What was the thing? After how many years were you in New York?
28.
28 years.
Yeah.
So after 28 years, what was the thing?
Miscavige. And I tell you why. Seeing the organization had been ripped the apart, and it was strictly about the Miscavige's power. It crumbled. Everything, the whole picture of what I thought I was involved in crumbled before me. It was like...
Right.
But more than anything, it was the realization the whole thing's a farce. There's nothing workable about it.
Right.
Scientology does not work. If any Scientologist could hear the conversations I had with Miscavige about the upper level OT material for OT9, that's the next level. This is where you exteriorize from your body, which are very important to Scientologists. He said, "Hey, I've got worksheets, Hubbard's worksheets. That's all I've got to work with. I've got to develop what OT9 is." It suddenly hit me, and this was sitting with Miscavige every night drinking a bottle of scotch, that it's a farce, that that Miscavige himself is now going to finish these off. You know, Hubbard died. He's not some superpower being, or, you know what I mean? All of it, the technology, the administrative part of it, the relationships, everything you thought that got you interested in the organization, it just hit me overwhelmingly. This is the opposite of what I ever thought I got involved in. I mean, the opposite. And that's when it became real to me. I don't care if I got nowhere to go, I got no education, I got nothing. I'm leaving. I had no formal education, no credentials of any sort, no idea of what I was going to do. But the one thing I knew is that the idea of walking away from it and going to LA and sleeping on a park bench and becoming a homeless bum or even dead was better, more palatable than staying in the organization at that point. I mean, it was that bad. You put everything into it. And then, I go through it, and in the last 2-3 years, I realized, what the I have just given my life away to a cult I look at that now and I go, man, had I not been involved